Hello, good morning, beautiful. We are going to code JavaScript today, a technological demo. So make America great again by coding, not by lawyering and stuff. Okay. So if you are watching this offline, play at 1.5 speed because I ramble all over and skip around. If you are here, say hi. Love to see your comments. So can you see my screen? Okay, JavaScript coding. So let me show you what we're gonna do. So you see these JavaScript coding. So this is today's page. Let's open that file, showing browser. So this is a famous Disney movie, Let It Go, fantastic song. So you can see I use my mouse scroll wheel to show each image frame by frame. I love this because I love slow motion, so you can see every details. Okay, so you can scroll backward or forward. So let me just go fast. Let's go to the beginning. Okay, so you see beautiful, beautiful. She magically builds a bridge, ice bridge, and walk across it, and builds a ice palace. Magic. It's amazing. Magic is a fantasy, and this is such a power, such a superpower. Imagine if you have this power, which is fictional, of course. Then she now is free, becoming her own, control of her destiny. And now she became this beautiful, throw away the formal clothing, and now swinging her hips. Oh my God, that's so hot. And you see, Ice Palace, beautiful. So you see, so what we do is here we have a bunch of images. So let's go. So here's a source code for the page. Can you see it? Are you here? Say hi, okay? So how many people watching? 3. Okay, fantastic. So what we doing? So this is a page, and if you go to the JavaScript, search for .js, you can see there's a JavaScript. Open it. So you can see here's a JavaScript file. In fact, it is TypeScript. So let me delete the backup. Okay, so you can see better. So here's a TypeScript, and it compiles to JavaScript. So let's open the TypeScript. It's pretty short, so it's only 150 lines. Okay, so but most of it is actually just a list. So you got a list of image file path, then you got a image tag ID that appears on the page. So first of all, we got this image. So open it. So you can see this image tag. Then below it, you got 2 buttons, button left and right. Okay, then so showing browser. So that's those. You can also click the button to go to the next or previous, or use the arrow key, right arrow, left arrow. So so you can go fast. The best is actually the mouse scroll wheel. So because you can go backward and forward easily. Fantastic. So those are the buttons. Then here's the script, JavaScript. Then you open it. It's a TypeScript. Okay, so you got the image tag, which is the image tag ID. That tells the JavaScript this is the image you want to change. Okay, then you got the left button ID and right button ID. That's these 2 IDs. So then you got a bunch of image files. Then you have this fcycle image function. So it takes 2 arguments, the image path, an array of image file path, then image tag ID, the left button ID, the right button ID, and that's it. And this is a function. So here's a function body. It basically, the function body just set up the event handlers so that you can click on the button, it will change the image backward or previous, or it also sets up the keystroke event handler. So when you press the right arrow, it go forward. When you press the left arrow, it goes backward. Okay, or the mouse wheel. Fantastic. You see her transformation. Beautiful. And so it sets up, so let's go back here. So here is the body of the function. Now go to the bottom. Then you just call the function. You pass the image file path, the image tag ID, the left button ID, right button ID, which are defined here. So that's all you need. These three variables came from the browser, these. So that is how it works. Okay, so let's explain how it actually works. So you see you got this function, cycle image, then you got say hi, okay, type whatever. Then you, so what it does is that when this function is called, it sets up it gets the image element, okay, which is this one, okay, the image element. Get element by ID, then sets up the index for the current image, which is starting with 0, okay. Then this part preload the images, the p image path, that's the that is array, okay. So my naming convention, variable starting with p means they are parameters from a function. So image path, for each one you basically preload the image. So that's how you do it. Okay, so then you declare a inner function, switch to next image. So it's an arrow function, and the body will do, let's see, constant next image index equals to current plus 1, and modular arithmetics divided by the length of the image. So if it scrolls past, if you go to the end, you press right arrow, go to the end, then it starts from the beginning again. So you see, go to the end, it start beginning. So it's like cyclic, a ring, makes an array a ring. So the index cycles by modular arithmetics, which is just the remainder, gets a remainder of the current index divided by the length. Okay, then you set the attribute, set the image tag's source attribute to the file path of the current index. Okay, then you set the current index to be the next. Okay, so let's highlight that. Okay, that's switch to next image. Then same thing with switch to previous image. In this case, you just minus 1. Okay, so you see length minus 1. Okay, then you add the keyboard event handler. So this is a function. So when the key down event dot key code 39, which is right arrow, when that happens, you call switch to next image. Okay, same thing with previous image for left arrow. Okay, so that's keyboard key event handler. Okay, so now where is that called? Let's see. Yeah, you have to set up later, but let's see. But let's continue to mouse event handler. So similarly, that's for let's see, prevent default. So that prevent default means when you scroll the mouse wheel, it will scroll the window. So, but you want to stop that. So that's why the prevent default. Okay. So if delta y, so x is the mouse scroll event, and delta y is how much it changed. So if it's positive, you go to the next image. If it's negative, you go to the previous image. Okay. Then you get document get element by ID, get the left button, get the right button, add event listener. So when it clicks, you switch to the next image. Similarly for the left button. Okay, so these are actually adding event handlers. Okay, then on the image you also add the event handler mouse wheel. So when mouse wheel is fired, you call mouse wheel event handler. Okay, then you add a key down event. So when the left key or left arrow or right arrow is pressed, you call keyboard handler. Okay, that's how it works. Then finally you just call it. Okay, so close that, show in browser again. Fantastic. Now what I want to do, so now you see this JavaScript file is kind of integrated with this page. So what you need is this block. So on each HTML web page, if you want to have this functionality, what you have to do is you have to create an image with the ID, image ID, and button ID, left, right, and then you link to the JavaScript. But the thing is, they are integrated. So this file, this JavaScript file, cannot be used on any other page, because on another page, then the image ID is different, the left button, right button ID may be different, or the image path, a list of them may be different. So you have to, so you see, so this JavaScript is integrated to this page. What I want to do is let's make it as a standalone library. So any page, if you want a kind of this slide feature of a bunch of images, you can just load this library and load another JavaScript function just to call it. So it becomes modularized. So that's what we want to do. Okay, so that's what we want to do. So make a backup this page. So let's see what we want to do. Okay, so we want to modular, make it not integrated. Do we have JavaScript coders, web dev here? Web monkeys, say something. Okay, so that's what we want to do. We know that already. So music closed. So this is today's talk show. Let's start to clean up. So we want to begin to code this. Modularize, okay? So how do we do it? Okay, first of all, go to the directory, remove the backup, and now make a backup for each one of them. Okay, and now we want to modularize it. Okay, so first of all, we need to keep coding in live stream. Cannot think. So why don't we make it so that, so you got list of image file path. Okay, so why don't we make it we need to create let's create a separate new file. Okay, let's not use that file. So this file and the TypeScript we need. Now let's just make a backup of them, remove the selection, and now let's just start to rename this file. Refresh. Okay, refresh. Now rename this file to XX. So that's how we're gonna create a test file just for today's purposes. XX. Okay, refresh. So now open that, show in browser. So we got it. So let's rename everything. JavaScript image slide test. Okay, rename that file, show in browser, and remove the anything redundant. Okay, so let's remove. So we gonna video thumbnail, that's Disney, fantastic, beautiful, delete. Okay, so actually there's also Chinese version of that song. They have that song in like 20 languages. People have done it. It's beautiful. So delete that. Delete that. Songs and humanity. Okay, it's also remove that panel. And sub footer, remove literature annotate. highlight link, remove, show in browser. So now it's simple. Okay, and then the JavaScript file, this needs to be changed to XX. Okay, show in browser. Does it still work? No, it broke. You see, it doesn't work. So we broke something. Oh yeah, there's no JavaScript. So open it. It's empty. But we got a TypeScript .xx TypeScript. Okay, so open that and compile it. So that would be tab C. Fantastic. Now go to the buffer, go to the directory. So there is the TypeScript. I mean, there is the JavaScript compile. Now close, 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 show in browser. Now it works. Beautiful. Okay, so now we're gonna like start, let's remove the button. Okay, remove the button, remove the button, remove this text, and so the whole text, the whole file, remove that. Let's remove all redundant things. Okay, okay, show in browser. That's all. There it is. Okay, now it doesn't work anymore. Wait. Oh, it doesn't work. You see, here is the problem because we removed the buttons. Now Shift Control I to see the console log. Now show the console log, and click on that arrow. Wait, debugger, console log, the arrow should show. Okay, but it's not showing. So let's open the TypeScript. Okay, so now the left button is that. Okay, the left button is that. Now let's this image file path, let's compress it into one, and actually there's too many, so let's reduce some of them. Okay, so now the left button here, you see, this is where it's gonna error out because you cannot get element by ID. It's not found. So compile the file. Okay, close it, show in browser. Now Shift Control I to see the you know, why is it not printing the error? Okay, so error 1. Oh, you need to click error. So there it is. Uncaught type error. Document.get element by ID is null. So it cannot get the buttons because we deleted the buttons. So open that, and so this button ID, that doesn't work. Okay, so now, but let's comment out the button ID. Okay, so these two button ID comment out, and let's search for if it's occurs somewhere. So button ID, it just occurred there once. Button ID occur there, and yeah, so now compile it, show the pink window. The pink window shows all my command codes, the command name, and the keystroke. So I'm using xahlee keys and JavaScript mod. You can see, so you can see I got this JavaScript TypeScript compile file. So you go to the source code JavaScript mod, and you can see this is Emac Lisp. This compiles JavaScript TypeScript to JavaScript using Deno. Okay, so you can get this command if you want it. You know, so it allows you to compile TypeScript to JavaScript. It's right here. Okay, just go and grab the code. So for you Emacs users, fantastic. Okay, so close that, close that, close that. or you can pay me to get my my xahlee JavaScript TypeScript mod. Okay, but for now, let's put the link here. Show today's talk show. There it is. Okay, now go back to the Disney. Okay, go back to the so go back to close that. Go back to our test page. Now, yeah, now the button is gone. You see, now it works. Fantastic. Let's remove some images. Let's just keep. Okay, so go back to the JavaScript file, and for the images, let's say remove more. Okay, now compile it, refresh. Fantastic, begin there. Okay, you know, so wait, so 33. So it's still got a lot of images. Okay, 77, 71. Okay, let's remove more. So now you just got like 10 images. Okay, compile it, close it, show in browser. Fantastic. Okay, so just few images, backward, forward, forward, backward. Fantastic. Now you see, we want to modularize this function. So this file, JavaScript file, is gonna be a library. So in the library, you don't hard code these things. So these things need to move. So you're gonna so let's see how we gonna design this. Okay, so basically this tag ID and the images, they're gonna move because they are specific to a particular file. So actually cut it out, remove the copyright, save it, make a backup, close, and now in this place we kind of insert them there. Okay, so what we need to do is how do you do that? Okay, so you need some kind of, so okay, so this function, let's open this function. Now the function is just that it needs to get this ID. So this function, we don't even need button left ID and button right ID. Okay, so let's see, search, yeah, we don't need it. So delete it, make it simpler, remove those two parameters. We need, so this is the image file path, list of file path. Then we have the image ID tag. Okay. Okay, so this function ends here, and calling the function also removes. So this function becomes, you know, a module, just a function. So save it, compile it, close it. So now this is calling the function. So this needs to be in a separate JavaScript file. So let's do that. Copy that. So let's say xxp something, just a random name. Okay, so then cut this out, open the pre and paste it there. Okay, save it, make a backup, go to the directory, refresh. Now rename this to TypeScript. Okay, done. Open the TypeScript. Okay, so that we can work in TypeScript. That allows us to have type checking, which is critical. So let's see, we need to make this close that, close that. So we got two. So first of all, we need to load the library. So XX is the library that provides us this cycle image function. Okay. So compile it, reformat it, all looks good, close it. Okay. Then we call the function. Okay. So when we call the function, actually we don't. So we don't need these variable names. Okay. So let's see. So there's a lot. There's an art about making a module. You want it as independent as possible, and you want it to be as easy to use as possible. So the scenario is that for any HTML file, if you want to have this function, all you need to do is to load the library, but you also need to specify. You need to specify which image tag you want it to go over, and you also need to specify a list of image file path. Okay, so one thing is this list of image file path you need to specify. So how do we? So why don't we just cut? We can actually. So left button you don't need. The left button and right button can be generated and inserted by the JavaScript code. So further simplify this function, you don't need the left and right button. Okay, all you need is an image ID that specifies which image tag you want this slide to go, and you need a list of images. Okay, so how do you design? So actually, yeah, so this is all we need for now. Okay, to make this work. And we can cut the whole thing, add a curly braces and paste it inside and prettify the code. This way all these variables becomes local to this file, which is great when you have lots of JavaScript files. Okay, so now this is great, and in fact we don't even need these two variables because they are only used once. We can put it here. So, and another thing we should change is the ID should come before the file path. Okay, yeah, image ID should come before file path. So we need to change that function a little bit. Okay, now compile this code. Fantastic, done. Close it and open this library, and we need to fix a few things because remember we switched the parameters. Okay, make one line and prettify the code. Prettify failed. Let's prettify the code. Okay, so now f cycle image takes two arguments, ID and image file path. Fantastic, and the body is just that. Okay, so let's see. When you prettify, I'm using Deno. Deno is the best JavaScript compiler. Okay, I recommend Deno better than Node.js or whatever. Deno can compile out TypeScript and can format code. For example, make this one line, then you press a key, it become all pretty formatted. So you never have to manually diddle with each line like the typical Python coders or C or C++. So that's a past because of the Golang created this concept. Press a key, it pretty format the entire code. So Deno, okay, I recommend Deno. So now this function takes two arguments, that and that, okay. Then preload images and create an inner function, switch to next, switch to previous, and keyboard handler and mouse wheel handler. Then it creates the event, add the event handler to mouse wheel and to key down. Okay, so that is the function. So by compile it again, okay, successful. Let's see what else we need to be careful to be sure. Okay, so it looks all good. So image tag ID is the first parameter, then the file path. Okay, at least the file path. Okay, that seems good. Close and double check this one. So this one, you just basically just call that function. Okay, so compile it just to make sure. Okay, done. Close. Now show in browser. Does it work? Yes, fantastic, beautiful. Now, okay, so actually that's what we need to do. So this one, this XX will be renamed the library. Name it cycle image or image slide library. Then in any page, you can just load it. Then below that, you just specify, what are the image tag and image file path. I think that's it. Okay, fantastic. Now, so why don't we now grab the code and close it and put in our talk show. Okay, so we can see the code. Okay, so new JavaScript code. New TypeScript code. Yeah, paste it there and add another TypeScript. Then you need to paste the content of this file. Close. There. Okay, show in browser. There it is, our code for today. Fantastic. A module of JavaScript to do image slide. And press a key to syntax color it. Okay, now show in browser. So fantastic and beautiful. Okay, I think that's it. Now there's extra things we can do now, because remember, if we go back to the original file, what is this? Bytes compile. So refresh. You see it got this left and right button you can click. Now that is important because that gives user, it tells user there's this feature going on. So user can press right arrow or left arrow or mouse wheel. Without this button or without this text, people don't know. So in our case, refresh, people don't know there is, you can scroll the wheel and stuff. So you need to add that. And the button is also important because on some devices you don't have mouse wheel, such as touchpad, and on some devices you don't have arrow keys. So you want these graphical user interface buttons there too. So can you see me? So you can see me. I can click. Oh, you cannot see my mouse. I mean, you cannot see my pressing the button. But anyway, so these buttons is important for as an indicator of graphical user interface, and this text is important because it tells user there's this feature going on. So we need to add that. Yes, we need to add that. Show it. So we need to add that in this library code so that they automatically generate generate this button and text. Okay, that's one thing. The other thing is that why is this feature great? Because I can show you, we did this yesterday, 2 days ago, about Wolfram language generating animations for these beautiful spiral graph pictures. Okay, so you can see, so why do I want, why do I want this mouse wheel animation? Because if you go here, if you go here, for example, Apple Tracoid, you see this animation right now is GIF, so it's static. There is no interactive control. For these cases, the animation is pretty simple. But when you look at complicated cases such as this one, you want to be able to pause. Right now you cannot. This is GIF. You want to pause it. Sometimes you want to go back because you want to, especially for mathematics, sometimes it's 3D image. You want to see exactly how it transforms. Okay, but right now this is a GIF. You cannot do that. Okay, so the alternative, for example, these are GIF. This is also a GIF. And this one is more complicated, spectacular, you see. So another solution is you generate a MPEG-4 movie file. So now, once you have MPEG-4, you can have, you can drag the slider and see how they transform, like frame by frame if you want. Okay, but the problem with both of them is that they create huge files, huge file size. For example, open this page showing browser, you see, go back here, then go to the search for MP4. So there is the Kaleido Glass, which is this one. Play it. So this is MP4. You can drag back and forth. But however, you look at the file, open it, go to directory, this and show this is 4 megabyte. It easily become 20 megabyte or more. When you have 3D or whatever. So a good solution for this line graphics is that you turn each frame into a SVG image. Actually, I can show you. By going to because I was trying to do it. Okay, so these are SVG images. Each one is only 28 kilobytes. So open it, you can see, and show next. You can see in Emacs I can do that. You can next. I'm using my mouse wheel. Can you see this thumb? Okay, you can see right there. Next. Okay, I can go to previous. Next, I can control the speed, like go to the previous fast, or next. So you can go back and forth. So that's fantastic. Or you can show it in a dedicated. Wait, I started to launch the SVG Inkscape view, I think. Anyway, so this SVG, each frame, you see, I started the Inkscape. It starts slowly. Okay, so I don't want that. So the point is that these are SVG files, and you can look at the source code by turning, for example, show, use xahlee mod. Okay, so this is what SVG files look like. SVG are basically XML. Okay, so if you don't know SVG, I have a practical SVG tutorial, and here you can see how to write a clock, and the source code is just this, like 30 lines of code. Actually, you can make it like 5 lines by using animation features. And anyway, basically it's SVG basics. They are just simply XML tags. Okay, so for example, this block create that line, and this block create that rectangle. So SVG is very short, and they are scalable. That means you can enlarge the graphics and without losing resolution. Fantastic. Okay, practical SVG tutorial. Go to the talk show. Go to today's talk show. Let's add it there. Okay, so let's actually add it there. Show. So you can go to it later on. Okay, so SVG. So we want so document. So you see we got these SVG files. Open it. Show us as XML. So this SVG, you know, they are small. Then you use the same technique as this JavaScript image slide. Then you can control, then you can control, use the mouse wheel or close it, okay, or reopen it. You know, you can control backward or forward, you know, or fast forward, like this, you know. So this kind of control is very critical when you need to watch something in detail and in slow motion. And in fact, there's a dedicated device for it. Okay, so let me show you. So keyboard blog, just go to xahlee.info, my website, keyboard blog, and you search for joystick and special input devices. You go to knobs and wheels. Okay, there it is. This device is specifically designed for this. It's called shuttle, you know, shuttle wheel and jog wheel, shuttle ring and jog wheel. So they you know, they let you control when you want to watch a animation like forward and backward in precision. Okay, so just like the way we have it here. So you see, so I mean, so this is actually a thing, industrial, you know, thing. You can buy these devices. Okay, so where is it? Yeah, so let me copy that so you guys can go there and buy it. Okay. So mouse wheel is kind of emulation. I mean, mouse wheel can do this, but you know, it's better if you actually have a big wheel, if you gonna do this professionally, video editing and stuff. Okay, so or you know, there's speed cameras, you know, especially like when you want to video insect flight, you know, like beetles, you know, their wings or bees. You want to record their, for scientific purposes, you want to study how their wings shape and so on. So you kind of need this, and that's why we are doing this. That's why I really want this. I don't want, you know, I don't want the MPEG-4. You know, the MPEG-4 is huge file size and you cannot control well. You know, can you use backward, forward arrow? No. You know, so that's what this today's talk show is about. Is this about this? Okay, so show, close that, paste that link, linkify, show in browser. There, jog wheel and shuttle ring. Okay, I think that's it for today. You know, we can, you know, so we can continue to add to, you know, to modify our code so that we add the buttons. You know, we add this you know, this button and this text. But I think maybe I'll just do it offline because it's 46 minutes. If we add that, it takes like 5 minutes or 10, because then if I explain. But let's keep the video short because I noticed shorter video is better. Okay. Really smart. Hi Sal. I think that's it for today. Is it good? So if you like it, spread it. Okay, like repost my video on Twitter or on your blog, because I don't do any marketing, you know, like I don't say, you know, like please thumb up this video, like the entire Google scam. And then you have today's, you know, Zoomer generation. Let's add some clickbait. Let's say, you know, instead of, you know, Xahlee talk show, JavaScript coding interactive slide, you know, JavaScript code you've never seen before. then then the viewership it will increase a lot actually. Like when I have a video saying you know the crime of Unix, oh my god, then that video is like 10,000 views. Yeah, but I don't want to do that. You know, that is why, you know, today in USA you got the collapse of USA. Then you got a bunch of Zoomer idiot. You know, they just like you know, they do clips and anyway. So if you enjoy my show, tell your friends, post on your Twitter or whatever, and pay me, okay? xahlee.info. Go to the bottom, then Patreon me, Amazon gift card me, PayPal me, or you can get my entire website for $300, about 6,000 files, about 3 gigabytes of information on mathematics, on programming languages, on hacker culture, programming languages. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you guys. You will not believe how JavaScript handles this interactive slide for image. Yeah, that's right. And then I need to put a photo of myself like fuck the Zoomers, fuck the entire corrupt USA deep state. Okay, thank you guys for watching. Bye guys. You know, like the classic one, you know, like they are everywhere. You know, if you go to YouTube, you know, let's go to YouTube. You know, it's Linus Tech Tips. You know, this guy. This is a, you know, this schmuck. This is what you call a gerbil. You know, a squeaking gerbil. Ha! Video. Oh, video games. Ha! This super graphics card. Oh, China something. Oh, buy 100 trillion something. The fuck face. You see this fuck face. They become rich. You know, this is what deep state wants you to do. You know, rot your brain. You know, let's make Google. Why is Google promoting? I mean, you know, all this crap. You know, these shorts. Like brainless shorts, you just click and watch. They go one by one. You know, like Occupy. You know, they want you become addicted watching these brainless fucks. Why Google promote it? Because they make money. They know drama makes people click, and you know they you know the most brainless things make more money, so they promote it. So Google makes a lot of money. And whoever is following Google, the Zoomer idiots, you know, like they make a lot of money. So this guy becomes now a multi-millionaire. But he's a good guy, okay? He's not, you know, he's a good guy. The Linus Tech Tips, he's a good guy. But my point is, you see the rot, you know, the rotting of American. That's what's happening. You know, brainlessness. Okay, bye guys. Closing down in 30 seconds. Last sip of tea. This is Longjing tea, dragon's well.